Hello guys, welcome to our next tutorial. Today we'll be learning about walk cycle. This is basic fundamentals of walk cycle here. So in this walk cycle fundamentals, we'll be we have divided this lecture into three parts. This is part 1 thought process, part 2 3D blocking pass, and part 3 will go for refining pass in 3D character. So these are three passes we'll be learning in these three different tutorials in 3 days. So let's say this is my ground and I start doing a thought process. So you can see this is a general walk cycle which generally happens in 1 second. It means 24 frames. One cycle means two steps basically. So you can make walk cycle depending upon the character, whether his height is bigger or smaller or something. Like you can make it at 22 frames, also 28 frames as well. You can go for 24 frames, 30 frames, whatever. It depends upon your character. Right now what we will be learning today here is not a personality walk, it's a general walk cycle what we'll be learning here. So let's see here. So this is my ground. As you can see, this I have made the lines, this upper bottom, so that I can define the ground and the peak level of my character. Need not, but it will guide me during the process. So let's create a simple rough drawing here of character. So this is my first pose, let's say here, and just be very rough. You don't need to be very accurate on this, as you are not doing any 3D 2D animation here. You are just making your thought process. So so need not to be too defined on this. So this is my first pose which I exactly want to work with this. So let's make this thing a little bigger here. Yeah, it works fine with me right now. Okay, cool. So this is my first pose. This can be called as a extreme position, a contact position. So this is my extreme positions basically. Okay, so the next thing which I exactly want to do is, this is my first frame, and you can say this pose is on first frame. So basically people calculate the animation from first frame to 24 frame. So if you calculate this whole thing, it is actually one frame lesser, it is 23 frames. So this wrong. What we exactly need to do here is, if you do not have a zero frame in your software, just like Flash, I cannot go on zero frame. So I'll calculate this from 1 to 25, so it will become total 24 frames. Okay, this is important to know because this one frame affects a lot. Okay, so I'm using Flash for this, so I'll be using 25 frames. When we use Maya, we can use from 0 to 24 frames also. So this is the same pose which I exactly want to copy on this my last frame, and this will be around this pose. So what I want to do is, I want to define the leg as well, that this leg is this side actually, that leg is that side. So this is something which I want to do, and here I want to also define that this leg is here, this side, so this is the same leg which is changing here and there, kind of. Okay, so let's draw a breakdown here. So I'll just come here, and the next thing which we'll see here in this is, after this extreme I need to do a breakdown. Breakdown is a very important. I don't call it as a pose, I don't call it as a key. This is where animators leave. So this is a breakdown which I want, let's say maybe in here, and he will go a little up here. Just try to maintain the volume of the character same uh, as much possible for you, and this is going to be like this. I can make it a little more up actually, so don't worry about this. I want it to be a little more up here, and this is going to be the breakdown which I exactly want. And this will be this is the breakdown which I feel needs to be there. So when you see this looks fine, yeah. And the same breakdown can be copied here as well, but not in this way. This will be that side leg, and this side leg will be in this way. So it will give me this entire thing. So this is breakdown which we have copied here. So now if you play, you can see this. I have got couple of things working fine. So this is a blocking process, the same blocking process we will follow in 3D. Okay, so next thing which I exactly want is in between's position. So let's see how we'll do in between. So this is my again our first pose, and I'm looking for now in between, maybe here and here. So I am looking for in between here. Okay, so let's say this, we are shifting the legs, actually not moving the character forward. So this leg needs to come to the heel position of this entire stuff, and he will shift a little bit down here, not too down, a little bit down here, and I'll just do this here. Okay, so this is my this leg here, and this thing will shift here as it's going to move up here. So now if you look at this in between, or I call it as a recoil position. Okay, so in between our recoil position will guide you when it's taking all weight on one leg, shifting weight here, and then this. So this looks good to me. And then from this breakdown, I want a little more pose here. I want, let's say, maybe you can say a little moving hold, or maybe this position, or this whole thing also called as a overshoot position. This overshoot means, this is my peak level, and it will go a little bit more up from that peak level. So this is overshoot position. So it will go a little more up. It is something like kind of a moving hold for me basically. So I'll move this here, and so sorry, he'll be here, a little bit more forward, and as it's going up here, I can move it a little up here, and his leg will be a little bit up as well. Just mesh something in this way, and his leg will be in this way. So this is overshoot position basically. So now if you look at this, so looks good, and actually we are happy with this blocking. We know the timing of our walk now. Okay, so this looks good to me. I can copy the same poses. Now you don't need basically, but you can copy the same poses here. Will work fine, I hope so. So this is the same, you can see. Yeah, it's working fine for the time being. And this is this pose which I'll copy here, and this is this side leg, and this is that side leg. Okay, I'm just making a little bit changes here so that looks good. So now you look at this, See this? So you can play this here. This looks really good. Yeah, it's working fine with me. Okay, so this is a thought process. We'll take this thing in Maya and we'll block a 3D character very soon. So hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I'll see you next day. Thanks a lot for watching.